And welcome back to the Flow Sports Fix on this Monday. Still to come for you this evening, we've got the round ball of the world game to look at with Ellis Gelios. We've got the Statman with his AFL wrap, but right now it's time for some local football with the Flowman looking at Mid-Southeast, Mallee and KNT footy.
KNT, what a season we are seeing. It was round 3 action. The old Tatiara battle between Keith and Bordertown saw Keith 14-11-95 to beat Bordertown 11-5-71. This was a beauty. Pathway 12-16-88 to beat Kybe Bolite 10-6-66. Kybe really competitive at home there. And then what about this? A terrific game between Border Districts and Lucendale, seeing Lucendale at home get 9-16-70 to Border Districts 10-3-63. And then it was a terrific win by Narracourt, having a great start to the season over Penola, 18-15 to 4-10. Gee, Penola in real bothering right now. But what about this, everyone? Kingston Saints 12-6-78 have beat Mundalla 5-7-37. And the Saints are marching in right now. A magnificent performance from them to get up and win that match. Across the minor grades, it was a close one between Bordertown and Keith. The reserves grade won by Bordertown by 3 points. Kybe Bolite beat Pathway by 7 goals. It was a good win by Lucendale by a cricket score over Border Districts. Mundalla thrashed Kingston, and Penola too good by over 10 goals against Narracourt. In the 17s, it was a terrific performance by the boys from Bordertown, got up by a point over Keith, 7-10-52 to 7-9-51. Gee, they'll be raving about that game still today. And Kingston, close win over Mundalla, 6-9 to 5-7, and Narracourt 5-13 beat Penola 2-6 in that age bracket, while in the junior colt age it was Bordertown comfortably over Keith 9-7 to 1 point. It was a 3-goal win to Kybe over Pathway Lucendale 8-4 to 5-7. It was Mundalla 9-8 to Kingston 1 point, and Narracourt 11-9 beating Penola 2-4 in that junior grade. Let's move our attention now through to Mallee football, and there were some great games that Mallee played on the weekend, including the match between Lamoureux and BDT. It was the Hawks 10-14-74 have won at Canalpin, beating the Crows 9-12-66. It was Murrayville. Gee, they've asserted their authority early in the season with a 10-goal win over Karoonda, 19-11 to 10-3, and Pinaroo likewise 21-14 to beat Peak, 6-6. If you're following your football in the minor grades, it was in reserve grade. A great win by BDT over Lamoureux, 10-5 to 7-8. Murrayville kicked a cricket score against Karoonda, 30 goals, 20 to 2 goals, and Wright Branford booted 10. He booted 10 last week too, but against Peak. He put 6 through in the 2s and 4 in the 1s, so he's had a couple of good weeks, hasn't he? Pinaroo 11-11, 77 beat Peak, 9-5-59 in the other reserve grade match, while in the senior colts, this was a good performance by BDT over Lamoureux, 19-11 to 3-3. It was Murrayville, 30 goals, 14, absolutely belting Karoonda, 1 goal, 2, and gee, they'd be really excited there, the Murrayville boys with the Morza Bruins and Wisniewski and Nusky all getting 4, and young Kelly, who got 6 goals for them, and Pinaroo 15-18 to beat Peak, 6 goals, 2 in another really, really good performance by the Pinaroo kids, and the young Nichols there, that name's synonymous with that club, booted 7 goals. While it was an interesting mid-southeastern round of matches that were played on the weekend, it was Kalangadoo 19-10 beating Tantanoola 4-12 in senior football. It was Glencoe 33-17 over Nangwarry 5-6, Hatherley thrashing Congarong 25-11 to 13-7, and Port Macdonald 10-14-74 in the closest one over Mount Burr, 9-14-68, a 1-goal win to Ports in that grade. Robe had the bye, and so it's been a very interesting start to the season. Robe lead the senior competition on top of that ladder. Second is Kalangadoo. They both 3 games, 3 wins, both on 12 premiership points, to both having had a bye. And Hatherley and Glencoe, Congarong and Port Macdonald, and then Mount Burr, all on 8 points. Just Tandanoola and Nangwarry, who haven't won a match either side, haven't yet troubled for premiership points, but the rest of the comp are all vying for those top 4 positions.
And you can tell the Flowman, he's excited about the way things are shaping up already in the season, and it's only a few weeks old. All right, let's cross the border. We're heading to Sunraysia, North Central, and to Hume footy.
And they were celebrating at Brock Burham. They got up at Brocklesby and beat the Billabong Crows 21-11 to 8-8. Was a comprehensive win, their first one of the season. And gee, with this team like that, they are going to get back to some form, their first out of 4 rounds of matches. Henty beat Calcan in the match of the round. It was 12-15 to 11-7, and so the Swampies get some bragging rights there. And CDHBU remain undefeated after they beat Jindera 11-10 to 5-8. Osborne had a 10-goal win over Howlong, and it was Holbrook 15-12 over Round Wabundary Waller 8-3. And Lockhart 6-15-51 outlasted the Murray Magpies 5-10-40. In other grades, interesting to see that Osborne lost its reserves and under-17s. Good to see the Billabong Crows got a win in their under-17 match, and Lockhart kicked a big score in their under-17 match, and Gooden booted 9 goals for them in the match that Lockhart won in their 17s over the Murray Magpies. So some interesting scores down through the grades. Turning on the sports fix now to North Central football, and Birchip Watcham have gone down by 4 points in a thriller at Donaldson Park down in Wedderburn. Wedderburn 7-15-57 to the Bulls 7-11-53 means they've lost their last 2 games by 6 and 4 points respectively, and they're 2-2. Last year they didn't get to play, but the year before that they were a grand finalist. So gee, the Bulls need to get a wriggle on, that is for sure. Charlton had a close one over St Arnaud 7-18-60 to St Arnaud 8-11-59 in 1-pointer, while Sea Lake Nandali gave Donald a football lesson, kicking 20 goals 17-137 to just 3 goals 5 from Donald. It was one-way traffic, and Billy McGuinness kicked 5 in his side's big win. And finally, the match that had Witcherproof Narrowport to go down again in another close one. Bought 13-9-87 to Witcherproof Narrowport 12-10-82. And like Birchip Watcham, Witcherproof not able to get over the line there in one of the close battles of the day. In other grades, just looking through them, it was a big win in the Birchip Watcham reserves. They also saw St Arnaud have a big win in their reserves match over Charlton. A great upset win by Donald in the reserve match, 13-8 to beat Sea Lake Nandali 9-9, and Bought again victorious in their reserve match over Witcherproof. While in the 16-year-old age group, a terrific performance by Birchip Watcham, absolutely eclipsing Wedderburn there by a massive margin, about 14 goals. And then a close one by just 1 goal, St Arnaud over Charlton. It was a close one between Sea Lake and Donald. They are 2 of the best sides in this age group. That could be a preview of things to come. 9-7 to 8-3 for Sea Lake Nandali over Donald in the 16-year-old age group, while in the 13-year-old age group it was a great win by Birchip Watcham. They've got some strong junior comp here. A big win by St Arnaud over Charlton. Sea Lake Nandali lost to Donald, and Donald looked the goods in that grade also. And finally, we head northwards and into the Sunraysia. The Union United Kangas have had heartbreak. They've lost, I think, for the first time since entering Sunraysia, a game at Underbull. And the United Kangas went down to Wentworth by just 1 point. It was 12-14-86 to 13-7-85. Other senior matches, South Mildura were 4-goal winners over Mildura, and it was a 1-goal win for Imperials over Robinvale Euston. A comprehensive win by Irimple by 11 goals over Redcliffs. In minor grades, the United Kangas had a win in the reserves. They'll be pleased about that, winning 9-8-62 to 8-3-51. In the 18s competition, it was tight all day. Owen United 9-9-63 to beat Wentworth 8-9-57 in a terrific match of football. The 16 competition, it went the way of Wentworth 8-9 to no score from the Owen United Kangas there. So some interesting football played through the grades and some terrific football over the weekend. Unfortunately, they're zipping 3, the Owen United Kangas in Sunraysia, but across the North Central and also the Hume football, been good to bring you these results on the Sports Fix. Tomorrow we'll have another set of competitions.
Thank you, Flowman. He'll be covering those competitions tomorrow on the Sports Fix leagues in New South Wales, Victoria, and of course in South Australia. Still to come for you tonight on the Flow Sports Fix, we've got Court with their Sports Express. We'll get some round ball action with Ellis and an AFL wrap with the Stat Man coming up next.